White space. Can there be a difference in learning outcomes from the same content? Yes, how the content is presented matters. There are several factors in content delivery that can assist student learning. Let's focus on white spacing as well as negative space and the presentation of content elements on a web page or paper. White space is a concept in typography that refers to the portions of a page layout or image left unmarked. A similar concept, negative space, is an art and web design term that refers to the space around and between the subject of an image, composition, or content item on a canvas or web page. A simple way to think about how unused space can be applied to identify a concept is to look at an old cartoon when a character goes through a surface and leaves an exact impression of their body in the surface, showing their exit. This illustrates how the space surrounding the image can define what the image is. When the effective communication of content is the objective, the unused space that defines the content can be crucial in both graphic design and education. White space creates a balanced and harmonious layout. Without it, content can be cramped and the core concepts are difficult to focus on. We can make the content easier to process by using both passive and active white space. Passive white space creates room between the content or balances it out on the page. This is often done by adding margins, considering the font family and weight, and increasing the heading. In most web environments, using the heading style is better because it both contributes to passive white space and increases accessibility by conforming to many accessibility applications. It is important to note that passive white space aids visual balance. This harmony in presentation gives breathing room for the content and allows the reader to focus on assessing the content. The visual balance is crucial because it increases the ability for the reader to process and comprehend the content, so it is very important. Active white space adds space to a composition to better structure information, such as emphasize specific content that is important. For example, suppose you want the learner to focus more attention to a specific passage or quote in the content. Changing the font, making it bold, or adding more white space around the passage will assist learning by drawing more attention to the content passage. Here, the formatting that presents the content varies to distinguish or highlight it from the rest of the content. Now, with some passive white space changes that show a section title, better spacing, and using a list, the content can be reviewed and more quickly understood. Active white spacing can draw attention to a key component of the content to drive home the point. By focusing on white spacing and how the content is presented, you can critically affect student learning. Remember to keep the negative space in mind when editing a content page. On the web, your pages should contain at least 50% less content than a paper version. It is best to reduce scrolling by making pages no more than a screen and a half and breaking extra content up into multiple pages. Then revisit and edit the content. Does it strictly accomplish what it is intended to? Now you can finish by considering how active and passive white spacing can make your content more successful at teaching the concepts you want the students to learn.